1977, after sinking nearly 10 years and millions of dollars into the first B-1, an Air Force study determined that 60% of the B-1 force would be downed by Soviet air defenses before ever reaching the target.
And lead tankers rolled out heading 245 and on speed.
Critics claimed that the bone could not jam modern Soviet radar defenses in order to penetrate enemy airspace. President Jimmy Carter canceled the program.
And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the most advanced strategic aircraft in the world, the B-1B.
But just 4 years later, the bone was resurrected. Some say that by 1981, the $20 billion bomber program fit well into the Reagan administration's effort to spend the USSR into oblivion. Just as important, it was the only airplane available to replace America's aging strategic workhorse, the B-52 Stratofortress. Nearly 30 years old, the 52 was an elderly veteran that many said wouldn't survive the 80s. Today it flies on as the oldest aircraft in the Air Force inventory. It is projected to serve to the year 2030 in the conventional role. But like the B-1, it too can be reconfigured for its Doomsday mission in just a few hours. A mission that even today, American pilots still quietly train for.
The nuclear mission, yeah, you had that big long track line that might go on for 4 and 5 hours, page after page on this chart, and sometimes that was all you saw was a track line and train and a few towns here and there, and sometimes you had no clue where it was.
One black line, one bomber, one target. A scenario repeated by thousands of pilots. Together, it is the SIOP, the single integrated operational plan. Planes also had to be hair-trigger ready.
We could place the aircraft into an alert configuration by running all the normal pre-flight systems checks, get them into a Code 1 status. At that time, we can take the APU switches, the auxiliary power unit switches, put them into the alert configuration along with the battery, raise the ladder up, and now the jet's going to be ready to respond. All we have to do is come down, hit the alert start, and the engines will be ready to start in about 30 seconds.
Until 1991, the klaxon would sound 3 times a week, sending crews in a race for their lives to get the aircraft off the ground. Until the men reached the cockpit and decoded an incoming message from SAC headquarters, they had no way of knowing whether or not the alert was real. Even with the threat of full-scale nuclear war vastly diminished, the winged leg of the triad has not completely shed its legacy. In a world of uncertainty, the flexibility of the bomber still holds a lot of appeal.
I think the bombers will continue to have a role as long as we have these weapons. And the reason for that is that the bombers can be scrambled, they can be subject to recall.
If American bomber crews were ever sent on the Doomsday mission, it is unlikely that the B-1 will carry them into nuclear battle. The adjustment of the Bone's bomb bays to fit conventional munitions officially takes them out of the nuclear count. It is doubtful that hundreds of American bombers will darken the skies of their enemies, dropping indiscriminate nuclear loads on the cities below. Instead, they will uphold a new era that may change the nature of deterrence itself.
I think that we may see a world someday where the vices of nuclear weapons will so outweigh their virtues, the countries may actually give them up in preference to precision strike.
Precision strikes crippled Iraq during the Gulf War, something nuclear bombing has never done. With new satellite-guided weapons called the JDAM, or Joint Direct Attack Munition, the B-1 will be able to achieve near precision by 1998.
If you can target it, and you can target it with accuracy, you can hold it at risk, and that is a deterrence force.
By the turn of the century, bombs like the JDAM will be carried on the same rotary launchers that once carried the instruments of Armageddon. Given the choice, the B-1 crews at Dyess Air Force Base choose precision over plutonium any day.
Good day to go fly.